Welcome to Premier Battles. It's Stro. Before we continue, make sure you hit the share button. Share it across all your social media, on your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, etc., etc. Make sure you hit the like button as well. It'll do us a great favour. So it's Stro. What's good, everyone? How's everyone doing? Beautiful evening. Congratulations to Manchester City, who just won the league. Can't believe I'm saying that. Few things we need to discuss tonight. So, obviously, everyone's seen the academy, the stream and the judging. There was a lot of conversation surrounding that about the newcomers, a lot of conversation surrounding the academy series and Premier League battles. And I just wanted to, one, dive into that. And secondly, as well, is talk about and shine some light on newcomers in the UK scene that might not had a light shined on him. And I think probably might deserve their flowers. So salute to everyone that's in the comment section. I am joined by some special guests. One of them is running slightly late, but I will get the one guest that is on time. The one person, she is an absolute workhorse in the UK scene. She is phenomenal, breath of fresh air to the scene, hard working, does her homework, phenomenal talent. I enjoy watching every stream that she's on. An absolute pleasure to be joined by a legend, which is London Jenn. So, Jenn,
Oh, Stro.
How are we?
That was so sweet. I'm great, thank you. I'm awesome now. You just perked me right up.
Well, listen, this is all about giving people the flowers, and obviously we spoke when you first started watching battling, and your words to me were, "I need to do my homework." And watching your progression since then, you've done your homework. So I'm just giving you flowers because it's well deserved. And listen, the new concept with you, Paris and Jay, is absolutely phenomenal. By the way, love that.
Tea and Crumpets, go and follow, subscribe. Have to give the girls a shout out. Sorry, quick plug there, because it's not a lot of women in the scene, and we have to push and promote all things battle rap. But this is a new, go and support. But thanks, you just throw me off with that introduction. I wasn't expecting that, but
no. So definitely, just to echo what Jen said. Obviously, make sure you go subscribe to that because it's phenomenal content. I was watching a salute for the shout out for Undisclosed as well. It's a good watch and it's fun, and it gives you a different perspective on battling you might not have had or you might not necessarily have seen. So make sure you go watch that. So I sent you the link to the academy. You had the pleasure of watching it this afternoon. So
I did.
I think that's obviously the first place we need to talk about now. From my point of view, like I said, there was a lot of comments, there was a lot of conversation surrounding it about the academy series and newcomers in the UK battle scene. And my perspective is this: everyone likes to think about the past, so everyone likes to go back to the 2010 to the 2014 don't flop era in terms of the likes of Lunacy, the likes of C Major, the likes of Briggsy, the likes of Shotty, the likes of Dialect and everyone like that. And my argument was always this: was if you look at the scene now, you look at a Bizzo, for example, you look at a LF Dean, for example, is the potential's in there, but they never had not necessarily saying the correct light shined on them, but they needed time to just hone the craft correctly, and they needed time to develop and grow. And there seems to be a bit of confusion with Undisclosed and how that works in terms of the academy. So I just wanted to put a few things straight. So I'm at every academy event. I think it's Briggs will be happy to say this. The academy kind of was like, "This is your baby. I want you to look after this. I want this to be yours, etc., etc." So obviously Briggs is always there because he never stopped working. He's the biggest workhorse in the UK. But the plan with Undisclosed is, if, for example, I like the look of someone and I think they've got potential, I think with a few more battles under the belt and a bit more experience, they can perform and do really well. I am more than happy to put them on an Undisclosed. More than happy to, because that's what Undisclosed is for. It's a card to help build newcomers, give people experience, fun battles, but also then have some amazing events and amazing performances as well. So that's what Undisclosed is for. Now, I've got to address it, Jen. I'm frustrated because when Premier Battles, we've worked hard over the past 2-3 years to kind of rebuild the UK, and when you get given an opportunity to come on the academy and look at the academy winners, for example, and look at what that does for you. You open up an Apex and All Star. Cars headlined by Shotty, Soul, Shuffle, John the Don, Ilmac, Soul. Do you know what I mean? Like, these are not just any names. These are household names across the world. You've then potentially got the opportunity where if you then perform off the back of that, you look at what we're doing with Twitch and Anarchy and King of the Dot and stuff like that. And this is your way into Premier Battle. This is your way into making a name for yourself and potentially going and getting booked by other leagues that might not have ever heard of you or might not have ever seen to you. And to freestyle, it's just like, now don't get me wrong, if it's a Zen who can freestyle, you can kind of get away with it. But my point is, surely you can hear, or surely if it's a Zen type freestyler, we'd have heard of him by now. They'd have battled at some point on someone's league and the name would have been about there. So I want your perspective on it. You watched it this afternoon. What was your take on the academy in terms of, there were some names that really stood out. I thought there were some names that really shone. But obviously at the same time, there were some names which I was really disappointed with. So what was your opinion on it?
Shout out, brother Excel.
Yo, I've been backstage for time, blood Stro.
Yeah, I just didn't want you in here.
You're right, Yo, don't let me cut you off though, Jen. I heard the question, innit?
Okay, so before we went live, I started preparing my sort of disclaimers or qualifiers, because I think you have to look at, there are certain things which are unacceptable, and we'll get to those, but you have to look at this in the context of the fact we're in lockdown, the fact that we haven't had live battles for a year, the scene, you know, a rebuilding scene. Like you said, you've been working the past 2-3 years to build the platform back up, to build the scene, to to inject that excitement again. And you and every other league took a loss last year, and I think although this is the Academy 2021, this is the knock-on effect of that. Yeah. I think the fact that it was the video battle, Prem haven't been outside in that way. Your name hasn't been outside. Like, maybe it hasn't reached a wider audience. People haven't been at battle, so there haven't been that sort of wider enthusiasm. So perhaps to me, that goes some way to explaining the lack of quality, or the lack of, we all saw it. So that goes some way to explain that. Things like, so you make such a great point in that for those who did apply, for those who did try to get through, this is the biggest spotlight that you're going to get. Look at what Prem is doing right now. Look at the things that are happening over there. You know, Briggsy talking about 17 live events. We're already in mid-May or something, 11th of May, and there's 17 live events for the next year. You've mentioned Twitch, King of the Dot, historic shit going on. There's the energy, there's so much energy right here, right now going on with Prem, that for you to be given the opportunity and to not have 3 prepared rounds, even if, to freestyle when you're shit at freestyling in this opportunity, it just, like, why did you, I don't know, like, I don't know why you bother, honestly. If you couldn't, you had 6 weeks. You can sit there and record it as many times. So freestyling, the sloppy performances, the stumbles, like, you had 6 weeks. How seriously have you taken this? Because all you've got to do is hit record again, like hit record. It's a big shot. It's a big opportunity. So if you're going to shout out to everyone who took the time to have a go, to have an attempt, no knocks on anyone, but just being real, saying if you're going to do it, why half-ass it in that way? Like, it's what is it, 90 seconds or something? You can't, reading, sitting there with sunglasses on and reading, you couldn't memorize those bars. If you couldn't memorize them for a video battle, are you going to be okay for the next round? No one knows now. Can you, there's no faith. The league can't have any faith in you that you can memorize your material, because you couldn't even do it for a video battle, where you can retake and retake and retake. Give it a day. Like, can you? So had a lot of, there were some points where I just thought, some of the enthusiasm was perhaps lacking that I would have liked to see. But there were some really good points as well. Standouts were definitely Cooper, Grazza. Is it Grazzo? Grazzo? McCoy. Those were my kind of standouts. I liked those. They all had definitely had the elements. You could see the potential. Some of them as well, like Cooper. That's for the first him battling first time. Put that up against Luigiano. Did Milky say he's had like 10, 15 battles?
I believe so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been about. Yeah, it's been about.
So, like, when you look at, if you compare Cooper, who was, you know, a standout and clearly got in with someone like Luigiano, who's 10, 15 battles in. For me, I wouldn't have put. I think Luigiano got in on the top 8 picks, didn't he? I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I thought his delivery was appalling. And I said he's got the elements, but they're done badly. Did he forget his material? Like, it was, for me, 10, 15 battles in, and you've got this opportunity, you've got this shot. How was the guy who's had one battle outdoing you? I think Milky was also going on about Gumba, like, why are you coming with Gumba? I thought he was going to say after 10, 15 battles, don't you know that it's not for you? He said that you shouldn't be doing Gumbas, but I thought he was going that it's not for you. That being said, like I said, I've said some very, I've been quite critical. I do think there was lots of potential. These are new guys.
Yeah.
I think Nick went a lot. I agreed with so much of what he was saying. I'm so glad that he made the points that he made, because this is about first, grassroots sort of building. This is about seeing who's got potential. Talking about like Hayley. Oh my goodness. Hayley was just like, in a Scottish accent, like, babe, slow down. Like, I caught some stuff that I really liked. She was saying stuff that was interesting. She had personality. That was one of the things that really shone for me with some of these guys. If you've got the elements and you've got the personality, that's enough. That's enough to work on. That's enough where, you can get some help, a bit more experience. Someone like Hayley, for me, as a woman, but there aren't many of them, so it was dope to see that she had some potential. I'm really glad that she got chosen as one of the 8 to go through. I'm hoping that she listens to the sort of feedback. I've been talking a long time.
Keep talking.
So, do you want to say something? No, do you want to?
Keep talking.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
No, you've got stuff to say in it. You took the time to sit and watch this, innit? So analyze it for us. Let's hear your opinion.
I do, because I really do care about grassroots.
Exactly.
About these, and I think a lot of these, there was the word potential. Some are even on first or second or third battle a lot more. They seem to have it a lot more together than maybe some more of the experienced battlers. I think definitely a nurturing, a sort of, I don't know how, like, with work, with support, with the right moves being made, like with the right sort of management. When I say management, I mean them managing their next moves, the next battles, how they themselves take this, progression, how they deal with the next round. Like, there's some real potential here, but it wasn't the greatest crop, I have to say. But I do think there's a reason for that, and it's not because suddenly nobody's talented anymore. But yeah, some good signs, some real lights. I really enjoyed Grazzo. I didn't like the microwave, like, it just threw me back to my Portuguese grandmother, like, straight away. Microwave. Kinell saying totally against any kind of support or nurturing. When I'm saying support or nurturing, I mean, perhaps I'm using very feminine words, maybe. What I mean is not kid gloves, not mollycoddling. I just mean sort of maybe guidance. Not mentoring so much, but just sort of a bit of instruction. Maybe you can elaborate on that.
So the academy used to have that, and I'm not too sure if they're going to do it this year, but they used to have it where you'd have, like, it was Team Tox versus Team Dialect, for instance, and I believe that Dialect and Tox was giving guidance to the people on their teams at that time, like, and just helping them and giving them tips. So I don't know if that's going to be the same this year, if there is going to be that in place.
So, just to touch on that, every Academy series so far, there's always, so obviously everyone remembers Tox and Flawless and then Tox and Dialects, right? Is last season we had Jay Short and LSD, and we had, it was Milky and Maverick. Now they were the behind the scenes in terms of guidance. They would get the bars sent to them. They would tell them that certain things worked, certain things didn't work. You should try this, potentially try going down this avenue. So in every Academy series, because we know that there's going to be some battlers that are still trying to get the experience. There's going to be some battlers, for example, that have never battled before. They're going to need some form of guidance because it's a tournament-based thing. So that's what we've always tried to do in terms of the Academy, is to make sure that we've got the right support in terms of established battlers behind the scenes.
Yo, big up everyone that's just joined as well. There's like 3 new people have doubled.
Yeah, sorry I'm late. What's going on? How's everyone doing?
Big up everyone. Good. No, Grazza, you can't be in here. This is a conflict of interest.
I think it's interesting as well. What's going on, lads? You all right?
What's going on?
It can give us the perspective from someone who's doing it, because I don't think I've done video battles before. So
just to sort of jump on what XL was saying, then so we're not doing teams this year because obviously we usually had Dialects, Tox Flawless, and it was Flawless and Dialects, Milky and LSD. Reason simply is like the way we usually do the Academy tournament is we would have a big qualifier event where we would filter out the majority of, nice way to put it, the shit.
Freestylers.
Yes, the freestylers are gone. And then what happens is we throw like 15 battles, 20 battles in a day. You've been to the events, XL, you know what the Academy's like.
Yeah.
And then the managers from that point pick their 8, which becomes their own team. Because of COVID, we did it last year. We did a qualifier online video battles, and they just didn't come across good at all. So maybe it's our fault, partly doing the first round video battle as well. But it's one of them, and you just got to adapt to things like every established battler's had to adapt to no crowd in a room doing Twitch battles and stuff anyway. So
I'm not gonna lie, man. I think that's the perfect introduction, man. You get it easy. There's no pressure on people watching you. You don't have like round 1 is on you, and it's the room silence, all eyes on you. Like, let's say even that's on a bad day, 20, 30 people watching you, looking forward to what you gotta say. It's just you and your phone, man. It's just you and your phone, man. You can pause it and spit it again. If you didn't like what you. Come on, man. If you don't like, you can watch the video, do it again, take 100 takes. Like, I
think it must be bare awkward though, me. Like, I'd rather be in the crowd situation and feed off that energy, me, and you get a game for Wagwan, isn't it? When you're in the
room. There was definitely pros and cons to doing it online. Like, obviously, I feel like it was annoying that I felt like I wasted my material because I didn't get to do it in front of like a crowd. But at the same time, you do have that aspect of like the sandwich thing in my third. I fucked that up so many times, and like because it was just one long like round, I had to just fucking keep doing it. So yeah, it's definitely pros and cons to it.
And can I say that?
Sorry, go ahead.
I know. I was just going to say that the video format allowed you to see some sort of creativity that you might not have been able to see in. So it did allow you to show some, more personality. Like, how do I use this format to my advantage? So I don't have a crowd. So let me talk to my mum in the next room. I thought that was a really, nice way to use your stage, which was your living room with your mum next door, and make it entertain a crowd at home with the platform you had. So yeah, there are pros and cons. I'd agree. Yeah.
No, definitely. I think it's one of them. Like, fucking hell, I've been doing this for over 10 years now. Like, you've just got to adapt to whatever your situation is. Like, Grazza, you've been battling for years. You've done the Academy last year as well, so you got a taste of doing the small room stuff we were doing before it was even a thing. And I'm the same. I've battled on big stages, little stages, small rooms. You've just got to adapt to the situation, and you've got to understand, like, some of these people are new, but look at Cooper, for example, his first time, and straight away he sold what his personality is.
Straight away.
What we said on the stream was, this is my thing, like, I'm not looking for a Shotty or a Lunacy or a Tony D straight away. I'm looking for someone that you go, right, I can see what he is. Like Cooper, I know where I would place Cooper already after one battle. He might not win the tournament, but I also know at the end of it, give him 1 or 2 battles, he will go to an undisclosed, and he might battle someone like Sirius from last year, or one of the sort of up and comers, and find his own lane. That's all we want with the academy. It's just got no loose chat did the process last year, and people like YD came through straight away. You knew where YD was going to be placed in battle rap from the get go. It wasn't like, I
mean, just watch battle. Don't jump into battle rap without watching it, man. Man's out there. Matter of fact, this and matter of fact that. Then another one's rapping in slow motion. I don't know what I'll go for these man still. Can't lie. It was a funny watch. I'm not gonna lie. I had fun with it. I was busted up.
Even like being one of the like, I've been about a bit. I've battled very inconsistently, like spaced out, but I've been about a bit. And I think even like the people that have battled before going into this, it's like you have to show. Obviously, a new guy, that's your first impression of them. If you've been about a bit and you're doing something like this, there has to be a level of progression from whatever you did last. Otherwise, like, what's the point in doing it? If you have been battling for 5 years and you've never improved, then the academy probably isn't going to do anything for you. And if you don't improve in the academy from your last battle, what's the point in doing it? There has to be some kind of progression for it to make sense. If you can do that, then I think the academy is right for anybody. I don't agree that it's just for newcomers or anything like that.
No,
if you can progress, then that's the academy is the place for you. Whereas there's a lot of people that I'd already seen before who had worse showings or no better showings than whatever I saw them do last, and I just don't see why they're doing it.
Bro, look, the first year we did it, we had LS Dean, Darpot, iKid, Frost, Bracer. Like, these are all semi-established battlers that were all doing it anyway. And then we had Burns, DMAC, all making debuts. Like, it's not just for the newcomers. It's a gem for us to find a newcomer that does well, like Mage or Visual, DMAC. It's a gem to find them guys. But at the same time, it's for people like LS Dean who didn't find his feet in battle rap, came to the academy and went and won it, and then went to battle on the Manchester Academy stage, which is legendary venue. Like, that's what the academy does. The idea was last year was for us to go and actually headhunt talent for the tournament. But obviously COVID kicked in, so that killed that angle of it. So maybe that's something we look at next year, rather that we keep the applications open, but maybe it's a mini documentary where we go watch a couple no lose chats or Beast Anglias and every other league, Iron Bars and all them. Go and watch everyone and just say, look, there's a tournament coming up. This is the prize at the end of it. We'd like to be a part of it. That's sort of the goal. That's what the qualifying event did, but it's just a shit time in the world at the minute, isn't it, where we can't just throw an event off the cusp.
I don't know your process, but I think maybe just like, especially like if for some reason next year it has to be online, if again, just the initial vetting process maybe a bit more in depth.
It's hard though, bro, because like the two guys who freestyled have never battled before. So how do you vet that? Yeah. You know what I mean?
You can did like, you not proof what to send something in, or
that verse one guy battled years ago on Headhunters, but he didn't freestyle. But it is what it is. The thing is as well, obviously. Sorry, Stro, I'm taking over your stream here, mate.
We don't talk anyway, bro. We don't talk anyway.
He said, I don't want this stream to be battling. Sorry, mate. Go on.
Get examined.
What you say, bro?
I'm saying get examined off the stream. I think it's time to just get rid of it.
I don't want this to be a battering of what the academy is or the newcomers of UK Battle Rap, because there is good people coming through. Obviously, Stro, you decided to do this as the future of UK Battle Rap, so that's sort of where the attention needs to be. At the end of the day, I was saying this before we went on stream, like the reason I looked so pissed off the other day as well was we did have a few good people. Grazza, yourself, came, Rubik's, Cooper. There was good, solid performances. It just happened to have a run of like 3 back-to-back terrible ones that is what people are running with at the moment. But at the end of the day, I've said this from the start. If we can walk away from the academy with 3 or 4 battle rappers that can move through the ranks in Prem, then it's a win the tournament every year. We're buzzing if we get 16 battlers that make it through, but it's not always going to be the case. You know what I mean? So yeah, as long as
what a lot of people forget as well with the first academy, there was already a pre-existing roster of people that weren't quite good enough for Premier Battles main stage, but were they had potential and things like that, and they've already been through the academy, or they have no interest in doing it or anything like that. So now you are left with a few people here and there, but mostly it's going to be new talent, and I think that's going to be how it is moving forward in general.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly.
Yeah, man.
What shot is saying in them comments, man?
You don't need to change the world in the academy. This isn't Pokemon. You're not Ash.
I really like that Cooper guy, though. Cooper was dope.
Cooper was sick.
There's quite a bit of talent in there, mate.
Yeah, you made some. Oh, I think in the academy you just gotta, if you know what your style's going to be, if you have an idea of what. I think Cooper kind of knew what his style was going to be, even though he never battled before. You go. I feel like from him, I just got okay. He can rap and he's got character.
And he was creative as well.
That was enough for me. He showed me personality.
And that was his first
The Bible thing was really good.
Yeah, he sold his personality. He sold what he was about. That, like I say, straight away, I watch that and go, I can see what he's going to be. I know what to match him up with straight away because he's shown me everything. Like, even Classic got a bit of hate, even though he sat there with his glasses on and read his bars. But it was his first ever time he's done it, so I get it. It wasn't a good showing, but he could have had the best material in the world. But the way he delivered it, I was sat there going, I don't know who he is. Who would battle?
Yeah.
Didn't believe a word he was saying.
Yeah, of course.
There's no conviction. There's no conviction whatsoever.
Yeah, he didn't feel comfortable
for me. I think the academy as well. Yeah. Okay. If you never battled before, we need to at least know that you can battle, that you have potential in, and learning your bars is the bare minimum.
Yeah.
Like being able to memorize your material is the bare minimum. From time you have 6 weeks, if you still and you are at home, where you actually have time to redo it if you mess up. If you're reading, I just don't think it's good enough, man. I don't think it's good enough because I still don't know that you are able to memorize 3 rounds. But
yeah, someone was reading
know
off the
that.
computer.
Yeah, like
there are a couple reading.
That's like learning your bars, memorizing your bars is the bare minimum, innit? If you even if they're not that good, memorize them at least.
And this is the thing.
If you can't do that in your bedroom, I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Nah, but Trucks, this is the thing. Like, I remember when I was battling, like, walking down the street and I'd finish work, for example, and it's like, I've got a battle in a few weeks' time. I need to memorize my bars. So you walk down the street and going over it in your head, but you're trying to perform and you look crazy in front of everyone. It's just like, it's
100%. I know exactly what that's like. It's hard work memorizing your
having a mentality of putting the work in. And I'm not going to hot him up, but like, there was one of the academy guys who didn't have a great performance, and he was mithering me constantly for weeks saying, have you got my application? Have you got this? Have you got that? So I was expecting a lot more of him, and then when I seen it, I was just so disappointed. So I was like, you put all the effort in messages and saying that you really wanted to do it, and then you come with that. It was just like, but like I said, this is not for that. This is shining light on people that I think really deserve the light to be shined on them. There's been a lot of newcomers which I do think are crazy. Like, for example, we've already mentioned YD, phenomenal talent. Like, I enjoy watching a YD battle a lot. And there's a lot more newcomers that don't get the shine that they deserve. Like, for example, Grazza yourself, like, I remember when you were on the first undisclosed card long time ago. And then, like, obviously took a step back, and then now you're in the academy, and it's like this is a perfect.
No, you ignored my message about undisclosed, bro. You never put me on undisclosed.
No, you were on undisclosed, weren't you?
Nah, bro.
Raw blood, bro.
I know it was the last academy.
Wow.
I was in Academy 19 with Milky and that.
Yeah, it was with Jan. That was it. For some
Yeah,
reason,
you
I
went
thought
to
Jan was undisclosed.
Darpa,
You and Jan
ignored
had
me.
the biggest. Yeah, Grazza and Jan had the biggest grudge match of that year.
In my
not
head,
even.
I convinced myself that was an undisclosed battle.
Nah, it was the Academy. Me and Jan didn't even have. I had no problems with Jan. I was just like, no one was talking about Academy 19, so I was like, I'm just gonna create.
Nah, you lot sold it to me, man. You lot sold it.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
You lot sold it. It was funny. It was funny.
Because
that alone showed character. That alone showed character off the ring. Dope and personality.
Yeah.
It was dope.
Just to say as well, so the way we usually do the academy is the first round. The first 2 rounds are always in like a zombie shack or a small venue.
Yeah.
And then we move them up to it used to be a match day event, which would be like full with, you battling with like Dialect and Soul and on the card. And then obviously the finals at the All-Star game. So we're going to throw them straight in the deep end on this one. So the next round is at the Undisclosed 2 event in Manchester in June. First event back with a crowd. The venue's nearly sold out already. So, if you're crumbling in a video match, this is where you need to prove. Being blunt, Haley G, Luigiano, 2 that were very, in my opinion, lucky to get into the tournament. This is your chance now. If you mess this up, then it is what it is. There's no excuses on this now. And the reason Academy 18 was so good is everybody turned up. We worked it out. There was only 1 choke in the entire tournament, which
1 choke
was mad. And then the Academy 19, which was that Visual Milker. Yeah, there was barely any choke. The first round, everyone was like, this is nowhere near as good as last year. But then it picked up pace. People realised what it was, picked up pace. We had Bizzo, Sam Hypes, Milker, Visual. Grazza using that as well. Yanef, pain in the ass, but he was there. But then
I actually prefer this format than I had quite a negative experience of the team aspect in Academy 19. I think when I don't even know if he's involved anymore, but and then a few people felt this way is like Tox was just so negative about the whole process at the beginning that people were just like, what's the fucking point? And I think that's where a few people sort of get like, I tried to take that as well. I'll fucking show you sort of thing. But I think a few people got real disheartened by Tox in Academy 19 because it was brutal.
What people don't realise as well is we don't put these out publicly, but like last year, for example, Sirius got the chance to sit on a 1-to-1 call with Shuffle T. And Shuffle T watched these battles, broke down what he thinks he needs to improve on, and went through it. Shotty done it with, was it Jester maybe? Shotty did it with Jester.
Yeah, Jester.
Slester done it with someone. And we kind of do that in the background. Like we don't video him, we don't record him and put him out public. That's for the battler to understand someone top tier or where they want to advance to, watches it and goes, he's breaking down my style. Like, let's be honest, Shotty, Shuffle T, Tony D, the busy guys, like a lot of times they don't have the time to sit down and actually watch a newcomer battle. And for them to sit down, do that, watch through it, and then give you feedback on it is what this tournament's about. It's not nurturing, it's just having someone going, rather than, these new guys are shit. It's having someone who's known and been in the game going, add your punchlines, make sure this happens and this happens. And Sirius said it was one of the best conversations he had.
Yeah, because I sat in on the Shuffle one, and obviously we sent Shuffle a couple of Sirius's battles leading up to that point. And just having that kind of experience and Shuffle being able to break down certain things like, have you thought about trying this potentially? Have you thought about delivering it like this? And then going through his experience and how he writes for battles and how he prepares for battles and what he does on the day of the battle and stuff like that, like the mentality and stuff like that. Like the conversation was about an hour and a half long, and it wasn't even meant to be that long, but Shuffle just wanted to continue to just give gems of advice, and it taught me some stuff in terms of if I ever thought about potentially going back to battling, there's a lot I could take from that conversation. And then, like you said, like Chester got to sit down with Shotty. Like, as much as I like to wind him up, like there's so many battlers in the UK, in world, that would love to sit down with Shotty and break down how he prepares for a battle and what he does. Like, we're talking about Shotty Horror here, do you know what I mean? So to have that kind of experience, like, and like Briggsy said, like, we didn't want to put it out. This was just something that we did off our own backs because it helped the academy going forward. And we're going to be doing hopefully some more stuff like that this year. But I'm looking forward to the academy this year. Like I said, there's some real potential in there. And if you look at all the academies from the past couple of years, there's always been a handful of battlers that we've then put on main cards after the academy. Do you know what I mean? Like, the first academy major was a gem. LSD hit the potential that everyone knew that he had. Do you know what I mean? Then we had the likes of D Markin. Obviously, you see Frost, Kid, and everyone like that. The second year, you've got the likes of Visual, Bizzo, and Milky. And then obviously last year, you've got Chester Black coming out of it, Enigma. You've got Sirius, who I'm a big fan of, and I think he's got real potential. It's just a shame that he's not going to be able to battle for a while because he's going away to Australia and stuff. But there's some real gems in there which I think need to have the light shined on him.
Just to ask you, mate, just to ask you, Grazza, as someone who's come back into the academy. Obviously, you was in 19.
Yeah.
You showed the semi-final, but it was for a good reason.
Yeah.
Celeste's just put, I'm still waiting for a sit down with Saul whenever it's free. What's made you come back to the academy? Because I think that's one thing people seem to be missing. Like, a lot of people are saying the academy is not that good anymore and da-da-da. But what's drawing people like yourself who is an established battler?
For me, I think it's quite like it's a lot more personal for like myself, as in for my own progression. I kind of for whatever reason, I obviously had to leave. I won't go into why I left the semi-finals, but it was a work thing. Just because I don't want to bore people, it was either I was running a bar at the time, and it was either come to this event or lose my job, and it was as simple as that. And I knew that kind of fucked me in terms of battling again on Premier Battles, and I wanted to come back, go through the academy to be like, look, now I've earned a place on undisclosed or on the main stage and whatever, and just sort of make up to, because like I feel bad that I let you guys down. I maybe took an opportunity away from somebody else. Jan, so it don't really matter. But I just wanted to kind of prove myself again and be like, right, I know I fucked up, but I'm here. I mean it. This is why I'm here, and that's what I'm trying to do. Like, I feel a little bit disheartened by some of the quality of other people, because I feel like obviously everyone should go into this thinking they're going to win, but I'm going to win this, and I feel like it won't be as relevant as maybe previous years because of the dip in quality, but it is what it is, I suppose.
No, man, it's still a victory, isn't it? It's still a win. You can only beat what's in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, I thought I wanted to do it again because, like, one, there's not really much else going on in the world at the minute in terms of battling in general. It's hard to get on any cards at the minute. And it's a process that, if you do it correctly, is going to set you up on Premier Battles for as long as you want to be on it, essentially, and as long as you can keep improving. And I recognise that, and I feel like a lot of people don't. I don't think this is like... Whereas I'm looking at the end goal, I feel like there's certain people are just going, well, I've been on Premier Battles now, I've done a battle on Premier Battles, and I'm like, this is step 1 of step 4, 5, whatever. Like, I've ripped my first round already, I'm halfway through my second round, like, I mean this shit, I'm serious about it.
So,
and I don't think...
Sorry to interrupt. So, I already know the answer to this anyway, but I just think the people need to hear this. So, off the back of, obviously, everyone watching the academy, you were the standout name, and rightfully so. You had a phenomenal performance. You will now have the target on your back, you know what I mean? In terms of, you are the name that everyone will want to try and take out and make a statement. Are you now ready for that?
Oh, 100%. I've got bars for everyone in the academy, just in case it happens. Like, I'll go, I've watched all their rounds back yesterday. I'll go, not necessarily fully fleshed out stuff, but I've got, I could use that, I can do that, whatever. Like, there's not a single person in the academy like that wants it more than me, and yeah, I'm ready to go with anyone. Like I said, I'm already around in for fucking Luigi Arnu. I already started writing like ideas for who I think I'm going to battle next. Like it's fucking go time, innit? Like everyone, no one's got fucking anything to do at the minute. It's like the first live event back where everyone's going to be fucking watching. Why would you not take this shit seriously? Like it's a bit mad.
No, definitely. Yeah, yo, big up Kinell, big up Two Wheels, all jumping in.
You all right,
Prince
boys?
William, you know. Are you getting a haircut?
I've had a few, probably since I last saw you, mate.
Yeah, I mean now, currently.
No, it looks like you've got one of them things round you, bro.
Oh, no,
What are them things that they put around you?
He's got a bib on.
I genuinely thought he was getting a haircut. Like, yo, to show you a thing.
Nothing. I mean now.
I mean right now, bro.
Go on, Kinell. Have you got a question for us, Kinell? Because I know you're eager to jump on this.
Well, I'm going to throw my thing in, like, because obviously, like, I think, obviously, it has been a cunt with COVID and that, but it has proved that I think people need to start putting the graft in on feeder leagues a bit more. So, would you could think like about remodeling the academy, maybe going in future? Maybe like there's only 8 spots up for application, 8 spots headhunted from feeder leagues.
Yeah, I was just saying earlier, like the idea was for this year anyway was to headhunt the talent. But obviously the difference is we couldn't go to events to do it. But yeah, you know what it is as well, bro. It's what we've noticed is obviously these other opportunities for battles. Like when we launched the academy, it was only really Dope Flop, which was at the time in its deceased stage, basically. And obviously Premier Battles in the academy was new, shit like that was going on. Now there's other options. So what people are doing is we've noticed is, for example, you'll get someone who's had 1 or 2 decent battles on, I don't know, No Lose Chat or Beast Anglia. And then they already decide in their head, we're too good for the academy. We've had 2 decent battles, but your 2 decent battles have got 74 views and 10. Like you're still brand new. Like I think a lot of battlers now, because of the way the scene is, straight away automatically go, I've done 2 battles, I've smashed it. Now I need fucking, I want Tony D on my next battle. Like there's still
I think this is it. Like we're losing the fucking graft thing. Like I was like one of the I'd flipping battled in America twice, won a flipping championship. I'd had about 15 battles under my belt before you ever messaged me for Don't Flop.
Yeah.
And I think like whilst the fucking first academy was brilliant because Premier was a very exclusive thing at the time.
Yeah.
And that this was the only way for some people who'd maybe been overlooked to get on it. Now, flipping, I think people are coming in with the attitude that it's a shortcut to fucking getting somewhere, like, and that's not the fucking attitude that people should be bringing in, like.
No, 100%. I agree.
Fucking bring back graft. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, man.
Mate, it needs to happen. I was saying this before when Saf put on the forum, like, I just wasn't inspired for my opponent. Like, bro, it's your second battle. It's your second battle, bro. Like, you know what? I took offense to that because, like, especially the way this year's gone, I've run 3 stream events and I've battled on 2 of them. Like the amount of graft that goes into it, and I would happily have not battled in Anarchy, but it was obviously, to be fair, I didn't know I was going to go on King of the Dot on Twitch when I decided to do it. That was a fucking bad idea. But it's like, I don't care as a battle rapper, and everyone in here who's a battle rapper, I want to kill everyone that's put in front of me. If I accept the battle, I don't care how good my opponent is. Like, it's me. It's on me to kill him. Like, I wasn't the most inspired person to write for Acre, but all I could do at the end of the day was write for Acre because I knew what was on the line after it. It's not how good Acre is. It's how good I am. That's the way I approach. I don't know if that's just a me thing, but
another thing I've been.
That's how it should
Another thing I've been pushing in the forum lately is people need to get it out their head that fucking like getting to the big stage in the shortest number of the battles is a fucking achievement. Because fucking if you get yourself to a level of significance, it doesn't matter what's come before. And the example I've been using is Tony D did fucking 10 battles in his first year on Don't Flop. Fucking everyone watching this has probably got Tony D in their top 5. and I doubt anyone could fucking name 2 of his opponents from his first year, because what he went on to do fucking just completely eclipsed it. So fucking that's exactly why there needs to be less shame in putting some fucking work in your first year and doing a lot of battles. Granted, you couldn't do it this year. Now you fucking can. Now's your fucking chance. And like,
I think a lot of that falls into like nostalgia, where if you look back and you go, oh, well, this person got fucking Tony D on their 3rd battle, but that's because back then they were on the
Tony D
same level. They were new guys at the time anyway, and I think people have got that. They look back with like rose tinted glasses and think, oh, it was so easy back then. You're getting these big names 2 or 3 battles in, but they're on.
They'd also established fan bases back then. Like people were asking for those battles.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, for sure.
Like fucking like they wouldn't flipping like because there were so many eyes on Don't Flop at the time. People would start off and like they would have so many eyes on them that they'd establish fan bases early. That's not happening. You've got to graft for a fan base now.
Yeah,
and fucking not just a forum fan base. Like I mean, some people in here know what fucking my next battle is. It's probably my biggest one. It's one I asked for 3 years ago. But at the time, I was told, like, look, you're probably ready to do the battle, but if we hang on a bit and you carry on the way you're going, this will be a big fucking headline thing. And we'd be taking that option away if we do it now.
Yeah, Kinell, and that's a phenomenal point, because if you look back at the Shotties and Souls of this world, the Shotty battle Disciples, battle Dave Madden, you then had to step up in Yunnan, and then obviously you then get the Arsenal battle off the back of it. He doesn't just get the Arsenal battle straight away, and then you look at Souls, Seuss, one of his first ever battles, and then you look at how many battles he had at that time. Like,
Souls battled some shit people.
it was only really the Matter one in Manchester at one of the early Don't Flop Manchester cards was where everyone started to stand up and actually Souls actually really, really quality, and then he kicked on from there. So it's like, I hope newcomers understand like there's an actual graft process that goes into it, and for us, I can speak on Briggz and Farf, we're not just going to give you a main event battle straight away. You've got to earn it, and you've got to put the graft in, and that's what we want to see.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's things like Kinell said there as well. I deal with people like Kinell and battlers who are established. They're going to bring a fan base with them and a crowd, and they're the easiest people in the world to deal with. Some of the new guys you speak to now, they've done 2 battles and they've got a little tiny buzz under them, and they're like, "Yeah, man, throw me 150." And it's like, "Hey, what? Throw you £150 for the battle?" It's like, "Yeah, man, you're on the bottom of the card." Like, the mentality's changed. It's not what this isn't.
It's a forum buzz and all. It's not a real life buzz. Like, people need to understand that is not the same thing.
That's what I mean. Obviously, I choked it, but that's what I was trying to say to Aiken in my battle. Was like, the forum buzz doesn't translate to the room because the ticket sales are not there, the views are not there. Obviously, Aiken's better than the new guys, but like, these new guys that are getting 50 likes on a post because they're funny in a forum. When the reality is, take the forum away from it. No one knows who you are. Your battles are not hitting 1,000 views, which is, from a Premier Battles perspective, 1,000 views is the bare minimum we expect of every battle that goes on the channel. And that's what you want to be seeing these battlers sharing and getting up. Like, as much as people slag Janeth, when his battle drops, he hammers the promotion of that.
Yeah, promo.
Like, yeah, Janeth is a grafter anyway. But that's what you want to be seeing with these newcomers. I've seen newcomers that we've put on that are good. The battle comes out, they'll share it once, and then that's it. And it's like, yo, when we got into this is part of the graph mode. Like, big picture was the flyer of the event. I was sharing every battle that came out on that card, and I was like, yo, this is a sick battle. Mine's out next week on this date. Like, make sure you lock in. You were driving fans into your content. That's not what. So when it gets to a point and people going, yeah, I want paying, or I want my travel covered and my hotel and that, I don't mind doing that, but you've got to bring me something too. Like, it's not even me. You've got to bring this scene something. If you're not bringing, I always say the prime example of this is Chris Lees. Yeah, never had to do it. Chris Lees, whatever his fee was on Premier Battles, we never used to pay him because all he used to say was, "My fee, I'll bring in ticket sales and I'll keep the ticket sales." So say his fee was £100 and the tickets were £10. He was bringing 10 people with him and paying himself. Like, that was the mentality Chris Lees had. And if newcomers had that mentality of bringing 6 or 7 mates with him,
They haven't got 6 or 7, mate. No one's spitting fucking bars like that and entering them in a tournament if they've got fucking one trustworthy mate. They haven't got 6 or 7, mate.
I mean,
bro, if you watch my game,
I'll be real because this comes back to it. Briggz is saying he's expecting minimum 1,000 views, and like some of these people aren't making that. And here's the thing that will appeal to Briggz as a promoter: if you can get 1,000 views on a small channel or a small label, that is much more impressive than doing it on a thing, because that's you pushing it.
Bro, if a battler is getting 1,000 views on Beast Anglia, like no disrespect to it, if they're getting 1,000 views straight away, I'm going, right, well, the platform we've got bigger, what are they going to generate on my league? Not only views, but interest. Interest is, I don't care massively about views and things anyway. My main thing is engagement. What are you delivering to Premier Battles and the scene? Like, if you're putting on, if I can put you on a card and you're providing entertainment, whether I like you as a battle rapper or not, that's all we want, because fans are paying tickets to watch you live. So give them entertainment. That's all we expect. If I pay a season ticket at Man United every time I go there, I expect a performance from Man United. And, don't always get it, but I expect it, and that's what should be delivered every time. And that's what the scene's missing. You used to go to Don't Flop Sunburn events, and they had all the UK cards, and they were sick because every battler turned up and put on an absolute career-defining performance every time. And there's a gap now where we've got the top guys that are active, like yourself, Kinell, who turn up every time, 3 solid rounds, give a great performance. Then we've got a branch of new guys like your Georgie Rootses who are doing the same. But there's a void somewhere in between that and below that. That's just not there at the minute. And Shotty asked the question, like, how do you bring the graft element back into it?
Do you think fucking like these Sunburn events, fucking? I think a lot of the reasons for the reason people would be turning up with career best performances is because they were trying to get on the main channel.
Yeah.
Fucking, because you had to do that to get on the main channel. Now everything goes on the main channel. So maybe it might be time to start leaving some shit around on Patreon. Although then you've got your fucking like,
That's
Well, to be fair, the Academy always goes on Patreon unless it's a good battle. We always put the semi-final onwards on the channel. But if someone has like not a career, but like if there's 2 battlers that show up and give a banging performance, I'll give them the channel exposure. Yeah. And I got that from Don't Flop. Don't Flop used to do that with tryouts. Like, you turn up and you put on, we'll put you on the channel. That's all we expect of it. But I definitely agree with sort of the only thing is
the last flipping debut on Don't Flop to be scheduled for the main channel. It was the only one that happened that year since Scoop was me. And the fucking week before my battle was due to drop, the whole thing collapsed.
That was at my event, wasn't it? Newcastle.
Yeah, Dan Schrader. It was a good event, that.
That was a great event.
But I remember thinking at the time, like, fuck's sake, me battle would have come out if I'd have fucking, like stumbled a bit and ended up on fucking Don't Flop Extra. Then a year later, Don't Flop Extra disappears. So glad how it played out. But yeah, flipping. I think it's time to bring back. I think it's time to bring back graft. I think it's time to bring back no shame in putting some working on some channels and fucking start making the main channel a bit more of something you earn.
No, that makes sense. Makes perfect
I think that graft point is a great one. And like you were saying, it does seem like that. There are some battlers who are maybe relying on the Premier Battles name to carry them rather than the other way around. So they're relying, like you say, the battle comes out, they share it once, and they're relying on the fact that they're on Prem to give them the push rather than doing the work to push the battle, to, share it to try and develop a fan base that they can then bring to Prem and bring something, how do you... I know, as media, I've seen Chubbs make a similar comment before, talking about we do more to push your battles, or we're putting in more work certain times to push something
that
than you have.
Yeah.
It's your battle, and we're sitting down, we're doing interviews, we're putting in research, we're then promoting it, we're sharing it, we're doing all of this, and it's like, okay, on your timeline, you shared your battle once, or it went in your story. I can't even see it on your timeline. Whereas, I thought you did
I
something
stop after a while now.
about it.
Yeah, I stop after a while. I'll share, and I clock, bro. You ain't promoting your thing. Why? I've promoted it 5 times. You've promoted it once.
So as a league,
I'm stopping here.
I think because when like the big guys in Don't Flop especially started to like the people that have all left now who like had just fell out of love with battle rap and hit that certain age are very vocal that they don't think battle rap's very cool anymore. And I think a lot of the newer guys have kind of run with that and battling like it's cool to battle, but to say I'm a rap battler and I'm proud of what I do and I share my shit about, I feel like it's like for some reason it's not cool anymore to just give a shit in general is not a cool thing to do in battle rap anymore as a battler. I don't really know where that's come from, but I feel like that's a big reason for that kind of thing these days.
But if you're one of them top guys, you've already got a fan base. Like, you don't need to promote your battles for people to go and watch them. If you're one of those guys, you don't need to be tweeting it constantly. You've already got, like, if that sounds diva-ish. I
just mean like the middle tier, lower tier guys. I've seen what the top guys are doing, and they trying to run with that as well.
Diva-ish,
which I think is silly. I think it's silly. I feel like if some of the like you said, the top guys, if they fell out of love with battle rap, fair play. They've accomplished a certain amount of success, and it probably got boring to them. Now, someone who hasn't accomplished a quarter of that, surely you should emulate what they've done to be successful first, not act like them as if you're in the same bracket. No, this person has achieved a lot of stuff, and now he's not interested anymore. Fair enough. Now, you want to have the same attitude as someone like that, not sharing the battle, not promoting as much. You're never going to get to that level. Then. It's just as simple as that. Surely you should emulate what they've done to get that status first, which was working hard, battling, pushing their music, putting the graph, like you lot are saying. I think it's pretty silly to have that mentality, to be honest.
Yeah, no, you know what? One of the people who has, sorry, Stro, one of the people in the scene at the minute I've noticed who has one of the best mentalities is Bizzo. Like, what Bizzo does is 100%. He turns up every time, gets 3 rounds, banging every single time. But not only that, aside from that, he's putting music out, he's promoting his brand, he's got his clothing line, he's hitting up every media blog for interviews and share. He's getting involved in every single thing he can. And, you know, especially with Prem, like as a promoter, I'm not looking for, obviously I'm looking for the next superstar sort of thing, but from where we are at the minute, I will happily invest in someone like Bizzo to get to where he needs to be. Whether it might not be financially in his own pocket, but as a career lane, like, you know, you beat him and I'm going to get you in, beat him and I'll get you him. Like, me and Stro do this all the time. We'll sit down and go through the roster and go, what's his next 3 steps? If he does this, this and this is where he'll be. And that's what we're trying to put into sort of our roster of battle rappers. It's hard with the established names because, like you say, like, you know, Kinell and Quill, for example, they've battled everyone. So it's hard to go, you get this, and this, because you say all the time, Kinell, when I offer you a battle, like, I just want fun with this now, which is the main thing.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Mark, because like fucking, I spent years as being the guy who would battle everyone, and fucking. A lot of my fucking decision-making process now has been affected by the fucking algorithm.
Yeah.
And because what you call it? Like, it used to be like if you searched Kinell, you'd get all my most recent shit. Now it's always like my most popular videos. So for like it's like that now. If you search Don't Flop, you're not going to get recent Don't Flop uploads. You're going to get Shotty and you're going to get Shotty and Tony and things like that. So because I've got 60 battles, fucking if I battle someone that people aren't searching for independently, then fucking if people are only searching Kinell battles, it's only going to appear at that top for a couple of weeks, and that's going to drop below 30 over battles, and no one's going to scroll down that far, and the battle's basically going to cease to exist. So that's become a bit of an issue for me, like, because I love doing it, but how much work can I put into something that won't be seen after 2 weeks?
I get that. I think it comes down to what you want from this. Like Shotty's saying there, new generation need to make music and push and build your fan base outside of this and bring it in. Like battle rap, I don't know about you, but for me, for my own personal thing, take the fact to run a league out of it. It's a hobby for me. This was never ever going to be a career for me. Like it was just not going to happen. But it's led for me off the back of battle rap to becoming a league owner. I ended up going to work for Unilad because of the connections I've made in battle rap. And which has now led me on to having a decent career in the football, one of the biggest football clubs in the world. And Shotter came in with a music career already, but battle rap took him to the next level. He's worked with Deadmau5, fucking James Arthur and everything. Tony D has done work with the BBC. Like battle rap might not make you the superstar you want to be, but it will open doors if you work hard at it, because you'd be surprised how many people are fans of this culture. They might not tweet about it, they might not go overboard with the promotion of it, but watch it. Like I've been in big sponsor meetings with massive brands and they've gone, seen your battle a couple of weeks ago, or fucking hell, you used to work for Don't Flop. Like you'd be surprised how many major people in the game. Look at like Shuffle T's done stand-up comedy, stuff like that. These avenues here, that definition has become a massive YouTuber now. Bamalam, Kinell, I know you're doing your YouTube thing. Like, if you
that's just a fuck around. I ain't doing that seriously. But it's more teaching myself to edit, though.
Exactly. Like,
when I get a bit niftier at editing, maybe I'm going to bring in a little bit of that. Fucking it's developing 100%. Fucking skills.
There's just 2 points I just want to touch on. So Briggz made a good point. So for those that know, I've stepped into the YouTube football world, for example. A lot of the big YouTube fan channels watch battles to the point where I've had them on my show or I'm due to go on their show because their fans are battling. That never would have happened.
I'm doing something with comedy podcasts. Like, there's a lot of crossover.
And it's like, and just to go back to the actual graft aspect of it. So with Undisclosed, it's a perfect funnel for me and Briggz in terms of, do we potentially like this battler? Yeah, let's put him on an Undisclosed. Is he going to push and promote the event? Could he potentially be someone that we can put on a big event going forward? If I see that they're not sharing the flyer a couple times as a bare minimum, I can then turn to Briggz and go, I don't think he belongs on a mainstay card or an Apex, an Anarchy or nothing like that, because he's not put the work in on this card. So it's like, I've had to have a couple conversations over the past couple of weeks with a few battlers that I want to disclose because they've shared it once the flyer dropped and that was it. That's not doing anything for us. I expect more. So it's like, this is your perfect opportunity now. There's a lot of hype behind a lot of battlers that are on there. So I expect to see a minimum of sharing the flyer, generating interest. Can you bring friends in? I don't want messages of, I want 3 or 4 guests. No, they can pay on the door. Like, you've got to earn those kind of things. You're not a Tony D, you're not a Shotty of this world. Like, you've got to put the work in. Not everything should be given on a silver platter, and that's where we need to get back to. And that's why I think Kinell made a phenomenal point where the graft aspect needs to come back into it.
Yeah, and things happen even if you're not a top tier battler. Like, I look at iKid, and iKid got onto BET because of battle rap. He got onto BBC with Lady Leisha and doing some cook thing with Unanimous off battle rap.
I did not see that, how the beef getting sold that way.
He's not. Do you know what I'm saying? Like him and Unan on BBC, I think it was BBC or whatever that channel was.
No, it was ITV. It was ITV.
Yeah, like all of that came off the battle rap, you know. He's not a UK top tier battler, but look at what doors opened. He managed to open those doors because he put in the work in it. Like even with his music and stuff, and put into work, those doors open for him. It's just put in the work, man. Certain things will happen for you. So you've got to know what you want to do. You got to have that graft mentality. It's not just sit down, wait for someone to call you. Fucking hell, the house getting down or something.
Yeah, what's got his cat's in the litter tray there?
Yeah, it's my dog trying to get in. I'll mute my mic.
Man. Definitely agree, but I think it benefits everyone. Like if battle rappers that are coming in, because obviously my main thing now with Prem is building the next wave of. They don't have to be top tiers, but have the view of being that. But at the same time, it's not. I want to come in and make money out of this because the money's not there. Like I've run Premier Battles for 3 years, and I've said this numerous times. I've never took a penny out of the company, but I set this up because I love this as a hobby, and I'm in a position where I'm good with running events and stuff. So why not continue my hobby when Don't Flop finished? Well, at the time, like I still wanted to do this. I was excited by it. I'm a fan of this culture, so I didn't want it to die with what battle rap was at the time. So for people coming through now, like, see this as a platform to enhance your next step. Battle rap might not be where you end up and be a Shotty or a Tony D, but if you're a musician or a young rapper coming through, you can go on Grind Daily and get these views and all that shit, but you have to pay £600 to upload your video. Be an half-decent rapper on a Premier Battles channel, you're getting 10 to 30K. If you're really good, you're pushing it. Like, we've got two battles over 100K now, which in 3 years is good on a 10K, 15K sub channel. Like, the platform's there for you. Come and get involved. You don't. This will level up to things like, you'll be surprised if you put on 5 or 6 sick battles and bring in 10K views, when these brands like your Grind Dailies and that don't start just letting you upload videos because you've got 50,000 views on another channel. You've got 6. Like, do you think Shotty pays to put videos on Grind Daily? They know they're getting views off him. They know who he is. He's bringing a fan base into that channel. Like, you've got to look at it like that. It's not this mentality of, I want to be a battle rapper and finish on King of the Dot. Like, what are you going to gain from that? I'm a 33-year-old man. Like, if I go King of the Dot, buzzing. My hobbies took me to Canada.
I think from a league perspective as well, like, in terms of how to grow it, I think we definitely need to be going to more cities and more places where battle rap hasn't been in a long time, and getting people that don't necessarily watch battle rap interested in it. I think that's a big thing that's missing. Obviously, COVID it's been hard to do that, but just in general, I think there's loads of like, I know so many good rappers in Nottingham that would, like, can't get into it on YouTube maybe, but if they went to an event and they saw what it was in person,
individual rappers should do that and all. You should try and battle in different cities. You shouldn't rely on, like, fucking, I'm only going to battle on Prem, so I'm going to wait till Prem goes there. That's where a lot of my support comes from. Like, I mean, like, fucking, like, when I battled Zayn Azrai in Bristol, fucking, the event was packed. It was like fucking, I think it was nearly 300 people in there. It was because, like, Bristol's got a good hip hop scene and they know what Don't Flop is. Don't flip it. I ended up headlining because UNAM pulled out. It was going to be UNAM Press 1. So it was me and Zayn headlining. So it wasn't 300 Kinell and Zayn fans.
Yeah.
But what you call it? We put on a fucking show. And the next, and fucking, like, I was speaking to people outside and they were fucking saying, oh, they came because it was Don't Flop. And they were telling me their favourite lunacy bars. I come back to Bristol a year later. I bump into the same people. They're quoting my bars at me.
Yeah.
That's all it is, mate. Sure.
Like Clash Money, the league I started on that was Euphorical's league. He was doing a tryout event in Nottingham every month, and I had 10, 15 battles on the card every time. And there's so much potential in other places that I think get overlooked at the minute. Apart from, like, obviously, Don't Flop have London and Premier Battles have Manchester. But I think there needs to be a lot more events in other towns and cities and stuff like that. 100%.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, one thing we obviously, I won't say any names at the minute, but we've been speaking to a few people. Like, I'm always open with Premier Battles for, you know, someone in fucking Glasgow hitting me up going, yo, I want to run an event. This is me. Obviously, I'm going to ask what your experience is, but let's say, for example, Mackenzie said, yo, I know he's got his own league, but I want to run an event in Glasgow. I've got these battlers. Can it be a Prem event? Yeah, as long as it makes sense. I'll happily put some money behind it. We'll get it done properly and get it all uploaded on the channel. Like, this is the thing as well. We don't necessarily have to be there for it to be a Prem event. We want this to be a UK battle rap scene. So we're all for branching out to different cities, because one of the main reasons Stro came in to run Undisclosed was so I don't have to attend that many events anymore. And it's not just, that's just because we work schedule. Like, we've got 17 events planned this year, and I'm probably going to be at 7 of them, tops 8 maybe. But that, you can't just stop with Stro. Like, there's no reason I couldn't give someone in Birmingham an Undisclosed, but their own franchise sort of events of, it's under Prem, you call it what you want, here's a budget, make it happen. Like, we can do that. That's not an issue. And if it helps grow new talent, amazing. Because the thing is, if I've got a bunch of mates that are rappers and I live in fucking Skegness. You know what? Fuck it, I'm going to book them all against each other. Throw a set out. If it works out banging, we'll upload it all to the channel. If it's shit, it just goes on Patreon or whatever. No one's lost out.
I was talking to LS Dean about it, and he had a good so you do it as like a Premier Battles puts on the main event, of your choosing, and you upload that to the channel, and then if it is like Iron Bars or something like that, all the other battles they get to put on their channel as like a Premier Battles takeover sort of thing, and I think that could work really well.
Well, it's sort of what we're doing with Rap is Full. This first card, like obviously Ireland is in a strict lockdown. They're in a much worse lockdown than we are, so they can't throw events. So we're throwing a collaborative event. Half the battles will go on their channel, half the battles will go on our channel. There's another league we're in talks with doing the exact same thing with. Like, we can make this. The thing is for me now is making this shit as fun as possible. Yeah. Like, especially after you've all been locked up for 18 months. Like, let's just have fun again, man.
Fucking Clash Money were fucking onto something like fucking I think like they sort of moved away from battling because it was going to be like because it was because fucking like all these 15 battle tryout events, it was just too much fucking editing for a couple of hundred views.
Yeah.
But but like the fucking club nights Clash Money did were fucking banging.
Yeah, they had such a good mix. It was like
they were always packed out. It'd be like fucking. You'd have like an acapella battle on, like I think like there was like me and Brislin on fairly early, and then
grime clashes, grime performances, stuff like that. Yeah, they had such a good and their production value on Clash Money was better than anything around now. I think the problem with Clash Money was I think youth just expected to start a league and instantly. Well, he told me like he thought he'd just be making bank off it straight away, and that's not what happened.
No,
and all his like production team and that weren't battle rap fans; they were just people that do his music videos and that. So they weren't willing to put the graft in for free, obviously, because they don't have that love for battle rap. But yeah, he had something like before they stopped doing it.
He had
a perfect mix.
Yeah, just things like fucking like a couple of battles, like fucking like loads of local artists, and maybe like and fucking something like Warrico versus Dialect.
Yeah,
fucking like
it was quite similar
like local hero versus a bit of a legend, Scorsese versus O'Shea and all, and like doing it as a club night. You're fucking packing it with local rap, local grime fans, like, and fucking like because like need the casual fans back. Fucking like there's a lot of fucking there's a lot of people who are consider themselves to have a bit of a following in UK battle rap, and fucking the only people who know that they are subscribed to 10 different battle rap podcasts. Fucking like fucking not there's nothing wrong with them kind of fans, but there's not enough of them to sustain the league. Like, so fucking, I think maybe battles at music events needs to start being a bit of a thing. Maybe fucking like when some artists are rolling through fucking Manchester, maybe there's a little Prem battle as a warm up.
It's not a bad shout.
Maybe you do that in other cities, like and fucking advertise your brand as like a warm up act to like someone who's reaching through. You've got the connections to do them kind of things. Other people have the connections to do them in other kind of cities, like. Because like, I think maybe you will about Don't Flop. People know the brands; they'll turn up because of it. And fucking like at the minute, Premier Battles is only really getting in front of like Shotty's pre-existing fan base and people who are already fans of battles. Like, need to be putting in front of rap fans in general. Like, show them a little bit of battling. Show them what it is now.
It's true. And if people start performing at events as well, you'll never know. They might one day decide, you know what, I want to do that. From that attracts people, rappers and stuff coming in to perform. They're now having to watch the event. You might even persuade them to flip a coin in one of the battles and blah blah blah. Get them close to our culture. Then you never know. They might one day jump in.
Even some of the shitty cities have got some local rap acts that bring 10 mates with them.
Yeah,
fucking every fucking city, more or less.
100%.
Like, look at that Shrewsbury event they did. That was like Don't Flop. That was mostly like Shrewsbury guys, and although like
the first one was just completely misjudged how chaotic it was going to be because of how many turns up. But the second one, when we sorted it out and did the acapella first, then the grime, then the music, fucking like that at the event where I battled Frankie Waps, that event fucking banged, and that's in fucking Shrewsbury.
It's right.
Yo, guys, I'm gonna go anyway.
Yeah, no,
I'm gonna jump on for 20 minutes. But yo, peace and love, yeah. Big up everybody.
Perfect.
Yo, Grazza. Dickhead.
Yo, I think before we sort of wrap up anyway, but like looking at the state of what the scene is at the minute, I don't think it's as bad as people are making out in regards to talent. Obviously, people are always going to go back to the golden era of battle rap, but I say this all the time, the golden era of battle rap wasn't necessarily great talent-wise. They were just selling the brand. They were performers. They were they had character. It's like no one's. That's one thing I really liked about Cooper the other day. He had character.
Yeah, that's a fucking big thing with me. Like the reason why I keep fucking saying no every time Bloodstro contacts me, and why it's got to be an opponent. Because like even if it's someone who's not big now, if they got a bit of personality and there's a bit of something to them, then I think okay, fucking at some point they could go on to like get a bit of a fan base, and if that happens like maybe 4 battles after me, then they start searching their name and the battle doesn't disappear to the pile of 60.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Well, even though it never came out, like that's what you did with me essentially on King of the Ronalds, Kinell. Like I think like I wasn't really I'd stopped battling Clash Money and that, and you were like battle me on King of the Ronalds to get a bit of buzz and that. Unfortunately, it all got lost in that. But yeah, I agree. I think there does need to be more of a. I think there's quite a divide between like.
I think it's because everyone's trying to get in with through the tournament format. The other thing is, if you have a more generic style, you tend to fucking get wins earlier because you're kind of like copying off other people to whatever degrees. You know what that punchline's supposed to sound like and how it's supposed to be delivered. If you get me.
Following a blueprint.
It's not a completely original style. You've got nothing to reference against, so it might take a bit longer to bed in. So that's another thing. That's another reason why people should be grafting before fucking tournaments.
Yeah, I agree. Find who you are as a battler because
fucking like the weirdest motherfucker on Beast Anglia could suddenly stumble into a way of delivering his shit that fucking works, and then fucking like you don't. I've never fucking changed my style. My style was my style before I knew what a multi was.
Yeah.
But I've just added technique to it and kept it the same. So if someone's like starting from that point of being themselves rather than just fucking using established formulas to win early on, then those are the ones that can develop a bit more. So graphic leagues all goes back to it.
You first battled at that Hockley Hustle event on Clash Money. And I remember at the time, everyone was like, myself included, were just like, like what's this sort of thing? And I remember like Euphorical from day one was like, this is fucking sick, and a lot of people were like, I don't really get it. And then obviously over time, you've just fucking people have caught up with you, I think, as opposed to you changing to.
Well, the people who like my sort of thing have found their way to me because I've been around so much. And I think like fucking like the comment I get most is people say they didn't get me till they saw me live. Yeah. So
I'll be honest, Kinell, I was the exact same. Didn't get you until I saw you live. But these other battlers like that, like I've always been quite outspoken with it. Ogmios was another battler I just never got, and it wasn't because I thought he was shittering, and I just didn't get him. But what I appreciated with Ogmios was he was Ogmios. I knew when I watched an Ogmios battle what I was going to get from him. I was going to laugh. I was going to be entertained. And then the first time I saw him live was against Wizard. And I was like, this is what Ogmios is. Now I get what he is. Pedro's another one. I said this when Pedro when he messaged me to join Anarchy, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be right for Pedro, because Pedro is very much a crowd battler.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to break down a Pedro bar, but he will make you laugh hysterically in the room. And that's what comes back full circle sort of at the start. Like when I watch one of these new academy guys, for example, just going back to him like Cooper, I go, I know what he's going to be, where he's going to. He might not be the best battler in the world, but I can see his lane. Say like Grazza, obviously using the Academy 19, so I already know. We've been speaking since you joined that anyway, but like I already know where you're going to go, like in my own head, and people just miss that. Too many carbon copies, isn't there?
Yeah, flipping like
I feel like Georgie.
If I hear someone early on like fucking and all their punches like I will violent act like Marvel reference, I'm like, okay, that's all you're ever gonna do. You're just gonna do that, and people will like it, and it'll probably get a bit of a buzz early on because it's familiar and they know how it works. But that's all it's ever gonna be. Whereas if someone,
sorry, mate.
Whereas if someone's like fucking, you know, people aren't really getting it. Maybe they're coming from a different place. If they can find a way to make that work, which takes graft, flipping, that's when you get the characters coming from. And fucking, so that's it. Like, I mean, like this Hayley G, like, fucking, like, I follow a lot of Scottish rap. I fucking, whenever Mackenzie does a live thing, I always do the judging for him.
Yeah.
And fucking, like, there's a very specific fucking Scottish style. And like, whilst it was difficult for people to understand, she was doing that very well. Yeah. So like, I know she can do what she does very well. So she's just got to fucking alter to a market rather than fucking come up with something fucking new from scratch. Like one of my favorite fucking rappers in the UK is a guy who's never battled outside Scotland. It's a guy called Kamehameha. He's fucking brilliant.
I'll check him out.
Yeah, fucking one of the most original fucking guys I've seen. Like, fucking, he brought his mum out in a battle once. Like, fucking, like he was battling against a guy who, what should we call it? Did a load of mum jokes. He's like, right, say it to her fucking face. That was years ago on Bristow battles. Bristow battles are a gold mine, but you've got to watch, fucking, like, you've got to watch a lot of Scottish battle rap, and I don't mean soul and respect BA before you can like fucking understand it how it's supposed to be delivered. I think and then you see that the things like what Hayley G's doing work with that crowd.
Yeah, fair play to Hayley G as well. Like, you know, I was obviously quite outspoken about it, but like at the time, I would on Sunday I was the one who was one of the people saying I wouldn't have put her through. But to be fair to her and give her credit, she was the first one to message me and just said, "Look, I've took everything you said on board," and I said to her straight away, like, you've got to prove it now in the next round. Like, it's easy sending the message going, yeah, I took it on board. Like, you know, you're in the reality is you're in the next 8. Now you need to prove why you're there.
I've spoken to her and she does seem to really want to actually succeed in this. Like,
that's all I want, bro. That is all I want. If she turns up with 3 solid rounds, don't joke. Even if she's not great, she turned up and give 3 solid rounds and put on a performance. That's all we ask for. Like, because you might not go through the academy, but if you give a good performance, there's other leagues to go and take what you've just done on the academy into that, and then we look at it and go, all right, she's been over to Beast Angling and done 2 battles there. She's done all right. She's won both. Let's try her out on an undisclosed card. That's how progression works, and that's where it needs to go. I'm just wary. We've been on for an hour and a half. Does anyone got sort of like last thoughts before we sort of wrap? Sorry, Stro, I took over your show again, mate.
No, it's fine. There's one point I want to say, which I'm talking from a personal point of view. Obviously, everyone remembers the infamous Luna battle and stuff like that, and everything that went off the back of it.
Making it about you.
No, because there's a reason, and just let me get to the point. Is the Luna
Talk
battle?
about it.
You know this, Briggz. I actually battled on your league first. The material I had for Luna, I used on your league, which was lab battles at the time. I had nothing for Luna, and I was massively underprepared. And then off the back of that and how badly that experience went for me, I was then stuck in a way where I was like, I didn't really have a style. I didn't really have a personality. I didn't really have a lane of which this is me. I'm going to stick to this. And battlers watching this is, if you've got, for example, like Kinell, you watch a Kinell battle, you know exactly what you're getting. Bowski at that time, you know exactly what you're getting from a Bowski battle. Innuendo, you know exactly what you're getting from an Innuendo battle.
you watch me, and what you seen was two different styles trying to merge into the one, and that was the problem. And that's why a lot of fans didn't take to me. So that's a learning experience for newer battlers coming in. Is if you've got a lane, stick to it and hone your craft in that lane, and develop more, gain experience. Like Kinell said, like craft your technique into that point, because you will go further down the line. Do you know what I mean? Like you, for example, like I've seen you graft time after time, and you could have adapted your style, you could have changed, but you refused to. Now look at where you are. Do you know what I mean? Like I said, Kinell, and then you look at the likes of the reason why everyone talks about the golden age, which was 2011 to 2014, was you had a mixture of so many different characters because they all just believed in themselves and they were them. Alchemios was himself. Enigma was himself, Krakasi Major was himself, do you know what I mean? And it's like they just did what they did. We just need to get battlers more into that instead of just being a generic battler, generic age, generic B. Like, just have a bit of personality and let it shine through.
Yeah, there you go. Let it shine.
I'll wrap up to say some nice things. I lack the nostalgia. I wasn't here for the golden era. When it comes to UK battle rap, I've literally been in tune for a little over a year. So the scene is where it is. I can't harken back to the great times. I wasn't there, but I see I've seen, especially in the last few weeks, a lot of newcomers, a lot of tournaments with these starter guys, and I see diversity. I do see, some of the generic stuff, but I do see some, varying styles all across the country. Stuff is coming in, and it is what it is. Like we are where we are. So, it's about conversation like this, like Kinell saying, putting in a graph to kind of do all of those things, having the wider branding, the pushing the scene. Like there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of talent, and it just, it is what it is, and just work with what we've got and make the best of it, because there's some shit.
The shortest route isn't necessarily the best long term for like individual battlers and the league. Graft, bring back graft, bring back feeder leagues. We got them back now. Let's fucking use them.
Big facts.
I just think as well, like things are peaks and troughs. Like I feel like it might not reach the same heights, but I feel like, and it might not be on YouTube, but battle rap is going to be bigger than it is now, however far that goes. This is and this is another reason I've come back when I have, is I feel like this is a perfect time to get in there and get established, put that fucking effort in, and when shit does pick up again, you're going to reap the rewards of that. I don't understand how other people don't have a similar mentality. Like it's gonna it can only go up again at some point.
Just to jump in on that, mate. I think what the thing is with me with this is like we're all every battle rapper that's involved with this are involved with it because we're all creatives. No matter how good we are, we're all creatives. And I grew up, I still do now, play Sunday League football, but this is my version of Sunday League football. Rather than going to kick a ball, I enjoy writing material, getting on a stage and performing to a crowd. That's what I want to do. I don't have to do this. Like when people talk about, the money side of it and shit like that, or it's not as big as it once was, it doesn't matter. It's still a thing to get involved in as a creative. Like there is still a place for you on a Saturday to bring your mates, have a drink, get on a stage and perform as a creative individual, whether you're a rapper or you're not. If this is what you want to do it because you enjoy doing it, not because you want it to be a career. If the career comes out the back of it, amazing. But at the end of the day, if
it does blow up again, there might not be a fucking space for you if you haven't established yourself now.
Exactly. Hey, if you're not grafted, Kinell.
Yeah.
Word of the day.
Matt said a new battler was going to pick up their name and benefit of all this free promo.
What's this? Is it concerns? We're not getting into the censored thing. We'd already done that on the last one. Yeah, the last episode from Stro was about censorship in battle rap. But anything else anyone wants to add before we wrap it?
Come to the next Academy event.
Yeah. Next Academy event, June 27th, Sunday, Manchester. First event back with a crowd. Can't explain how fucking excited I am for that. Just to get drunk with people I've not seen. This is the. Sorry, I just say this before we go. Like, this is one of the beautiful things of this scene is these people you meet at these events you've not seen for a year, but when you see them, it's like you've been boys for time. Like, yo, like, Trubs, me and you speak online, but like I might only see you once a year, and it's like, yo, straight away, bro, good to see you. That's what this whole community is, and that will never go away as long as, no matter if there's 10 million views or 1,000 views, like that is always what this scene is. It's what it always was. We grew this together, and we all went through the slump with it. So if it bounces back, we all did it together. People are going to drop off along the way, but I'm going to start crying. But yeah, this is what it needs to be. But yeah, man, like, fuck it, get involved, get behind Battle Rap, man. June 27th, undisclosed 2, July 31st, undisclosed 3 with Rappies 4. But you've also got No Lose Chat just announced Unanimous versus Crash. That's in July. Like, events are ticking over. Get behind the leagues. Like, it's easy to jump on a forum or whatever and go UK Battle Rap's dead if you've not been to an event for 2 years. Like, it's not dead, bro. It's just you're either a twat or you've never experienced it. It can't be dead if it's still going on, can it? So yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
And the event is still popping off, so boy.
Well, like you say, the undisclosed 2 is nearly sold out. Undisclosed 3, we sold the early bird tickets on the first day, so it's definitely not dead. And
no.
Let's just have a buzz, man. Let's just all get drunk and watch some funny people slag each other. That's what this is about at the end of the day. Even the shit ones, let's just laugh with the shit ones. Like, you know, you still wrote 3 rounds and come to entertain you, so get behind them, man.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, Sunday wouldn't have been half as bad as it was if it was in a live crowd. I genuinely believe that. People wouldn't have had the same reaction to it if it was a live event.
Bro, I love car crash battles on the day.
Yeah.
Watching them as a video battles.
They're a fucking nightmare to follow, though. Fucking it's fucking awful if you've just followed the Chaos one. Fucking one of my best decisions was when Danny came up to me and said, "Oh, we don't know whether to do Briggsy and Tom Quee first, or you and Jay Dillon." I go, "I'm going first." I knew what was coming.
Been amazing. Love a car crash. But yeah, yo, does anyone want to sign off with anything? Do you want to go on, Stro? I'll let you do the sign off, mate. I'm a guest on your show here.
Listen, you're Mr. Professional. Like, you're the king of sign off, so I'm just.
You let me sign off the Stro show.
Yeah, but the sign off is just me being typical me, which is just passing the baton on to someone else.
Respect the truth. Right, all right, I'll start from the bottom. Trubs, if you're not already, go and subscribe to the Wiretap, absolute grafter in UK Battle Rap, putting on every league, every battle rapper. If you're watching, newcomer or not, he's someone you should be messaging for interviews, get involved with stuff. Go and drop him a subscription as well. Road to 1,000 minutes, Trubs.
Yeah, I'm on the road to 1K, man. I'm not even halfway, but I thought I'd jump on the road, innit?
We'll get there. Go and drop him a subscription, man. Love for joining us, brother.
Blessing. Appreciate you for having me, man.
Safe, man. Grazza, see you later, mate. No, I'm joking. Academy 21 battler. Mate, performance of the night the other night. I've not even said that to you yet. Well done. Like, honestly, you're the highlight. But, you know, yourself, Cooper, McCoy, Robin HD, Hylas, like, there's a couple of years, like, the highlights of the show. Kept me saying, to be honest, I reckon I was close to having a mental breakdown at one point.
It was peak at one point. It was. I've done my first round for Luigiani, so it's all good.
Good to hear, mate.
I just want to say as well.
I hate this. God's sake. Right, London Jenn. Same as Troz, man. If you're not subscribed to London Jenn, make sure you go and do that. Absolute grafter. One of the reasons, to be fair, you and Trump specifically, one of the reasons, like, the media side is fully popping off now. Yeah. Obviously, there's shouts to everyone that is getting involved, but your work speaks for itself at the end of the day. And as I said before, if you're a battle rapper, hit Jen up. Like, doesn't matter if you've done 2 or 3 battles, even if she can't get you on, she'll still talk to you. Like, there's always avenues to get your brand out there, and that's one of the best ones in my personal humble opinion, I must admit.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers for joining us, Jen.
Thanks for having me on as always. Cheers, appreciate it.
Look forward to seeing you soon, mate.
See ya.
Hey, Briggz, just quickly, one thing before you give Kinell his finger, I just want to give him his flowers a second. the most difficult man to try and match up in terms of a battle, but the easiest man I've ever dealt with, and I'm not even just saying that, like, genuine pleasure to deal with in terms of trying to get a battle set up, apart from trying to find an opponent, because he's battled everyone in the UK, and I genuinely mean that, like, one of the best people to deal with in the scene.
Safe, last safe. Yeah, I want to give a quick shout out to the Damn Daniel podcast, which is like sort of a fucking comedy / coke rap podcast. Fucking some of the homies doing that. I've just Danny McLaughlin and Dean and all them. I've just recorded something for their Patreon, and they've got some other shit. I think Rob Mulholland's done something for them. Who's a comedian? He's the one who battled Shuffle T. He's a big supporter of battle rap and all. I think I've seen him pop up in the forum.
Yeah,
Damn Daniel podcast. Check them out.
Was it just YouTube Dan Daniel podcast? Yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah. On all the other platforms. Yeah, Damn Daniel, you'll find it. The original meme's dead now. Damn Daniel podcast, you'll find him.
I'll put it in the description.
And me at COLAK on your Twitter.
Mate, we need to get you a battle soon, Kinell. We need to hook you up. I know you've got your big one in August, but as soon as that's out of the way, mate, let's get something in.
All right.
Love as always, brother. Speak to you soon.
Brother.
Peace.
Yo, and just on that one, shout out to everyone that's locked in. This episode of It's Stro will be available on the Patreon straight away. It'll stay on there for a week or so before we drop it on the YouTube channel. But shout out to everyone that has locked in. 1 minute, just before we go. This guy's been sat backstage for about 45 minutes, yeah. Let's just have a little chat. Hi, Liz. How are you doing, my brother?
Yeah, right.
Sorry you've been backstage for so long.
What's that?
Sorry you've not been on it. I've only just noticed.
No, it's good. I didn't even want to be on the show. I just followed that link to comment. I'm kind of getting a bit confused.
How do you think it went the other day from your perspective? Because obviously, you know, watching the stream, you sort of scraped your way onto it, even though you was within the top 8 in my opinion. Oh, I think we lost him. Is he there?
No.
Oh, there you go, bro. Sorry, mate. Flipping out then.
Yo.
Yeah, that auto-tune thing went down like way better than I thought it would. There's a bit of an antic, really, but
it works.
I think now I'll bring that antics for the next round. Well,
stop doing daylight and shit on my stage. But
I think, to be honest, you know what? I think McCoy is just like known for bars and known for being a good writer. I've got to prove now that I'm the same. You know what I mean? So it's a good opponent.
Mate, the thing is, it's all eyes on you now. People are interested in what you do next. So this is on the 8 of you now to make sure this isn't a flop of an academy series. Like, we'll do everything in our power to make sure it's run as well as it can be, but it's on you, talent-wise, to make sure this goes out the park now. So yeah, I'm excited to see what you do, bro. June 27th in It's Stro. I think Stro's froze.
Yeah, it's 4 days after my birthday, that.
Sick. But yeah, man, we'll
look forward to present, get like fucking killed by McCoy.
I look forward to seeing you there then, bro.
It's not the attitude, is it? Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Safe, brother.
I'm
Catch you on it.
See you in a bit.
See you in a bit. But yo, yeah, anyone that's locked. Are you there, Stro? Are you froze? I think he's had a mare. It's just me on my own. I'm live. Oh no. What do we do? But yo, nice one for locking into It's Stro without Stro. There he is. There he is.
Oh yeah.
I was just going to sign off your show then. But yo, shout out to everyone that's locked in. Like I say, if it's your first time on Premier Battles, make sure you click subscribe. If you're on Twitch, click subscribe. Facebook, click a follow. Events, go to premierbattles.club. Undisclosed 2 and 3 tickets are available. And then yeah, hopefully we get to see you all there. Let's try and make sure, obviously from a promoter's perspective, we sell out Undisclosed 2, but you know, just from a general vibe and getting everyone together again, let's just make sure it's a banger of event to sort of kick the new year off with. And we've got a bag of new announcements coming as well. So yeah, man. This Sunday, Georgie Roots versus Sam Heights drops on YouTube. Stro's gone again. It's just me, all on my own. I'm upset. It's what it is. But yo, this has been It's Stro with Bison Briggz. I'm on my own. Yeah. Oh, he's back. He's gone again. What is going on? I'm going to end it. So to everyone that's locked in, absolute gems. Barkide episode 10. More importantly, will be coming very soon. We've got a battle set up live on the channel. Barkide 10. Me, Shotty Horror, watching the best and worst of battle rap. So make sure you lock into that. No date yet. Coming soon. Waiting for the battlers to prep the material. And then we'll do Barkide episode 10.
There we go.
Yo, PremierBattles.club. Make sure you head over there. Subscribe to the Patreon. Every penny counts. Let's get involved. This episode will be on there right away. And then more should come in there soon. Any last words, Stro?
Obviously, undisclosed 2. I know you've already touched upon it, but make sure you get your tickets. Tickets are flying. Potentially got a special announcement on the day if everything goes right. But yeah, obviously, undisclosed 2, undisclosed 3. We are working to move undisclosed across the UK. Believe me. But yeah, just like we were saying, to go to every league, like support the UK scene, not just us, everyone involved, because we want to get it back to a place where it once was, and I genuinely believe that we can. But yeah, make sure you get your tickets to Undisclosed, because it's the first event back with fans, and believe me, it's going to be a fun event.
Tell you what, if we sell 3 tickets by tomorrow, so either Undisclosed 2 or 3, I'll let you announce another battle tomorrow. 3 tickets, not a lot. That's not a lot of tickets. I could have said 10, but I'm going to say 3.
I am now known for just dropping battles when I'm bored.
Yeah, stop doing that. We've had the conversation, and we're not doing that anymore. We're grown-ups. We have a league to run. We're not blowing announcements 7 months before events anymore, because we did that with Shotty and Tay-Rock, and look how that turned out. Didn't do very well, did it? So we're playing it smart. But yeah. Oh, wait, we're getting a couple. Yes, this is an Undisclosed 3 announcement, because all Undisclosed 2 is announced. Shuffle T versus Nugget, Undisclosed 3. Might drop the co-main event tomorrow. Oh, send me 3 more tickets, you sassy bastards. Right, so I'm going. I've been working since 8 o'clock. Till 8 o'clock.
Bye, Princess.
Love you, my bro. Speak to you soon.
Love you always.
Safe.